In his essay on the shortness of life, Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Then he made the point that should land like a hammer: you live as if you would live forever, the thought of human frailty never enters your head. Look at how you treat your money. You check your bank balance. You compare prices. You hesitate before a $50 expense. Now look at how you treat your time. You give an hour to a meeting that could have been an email. You spend 90 minutes scrolling a feed you won't remember tomorrow. You let a person you barely tolerate book an entire afternoon of your week. Seneca's point was brutal. Time is the only currency you cannot earn back, and we are the only creatures who give it away for free. He wrote, "Men do not allow anyone to seize their estates, and if the slightest dispute arises about boundaries, they rush to stones and arms, but they allow others to encroach on their lives, nay, they themselves invite in those who will take possession of them." The modern translation: you would call the police on a thief stealing $200 from your wallet. You will not even decline a meeting that steals 2 hours from your week. The first Stoic correction is this: stop tracking your hours like an employee and start guarding them like an owner. Before you say yes to anything, a coffee, a call, a commitment 3 weeks out, ask Seneca's question: would I trade an hour of my life I cannot get back for this? Most of what you currently say yes to would not survive the question. That is the whole problem. And that is where the change begins. Seneca wrote a line that should be carved above every desk: to be everywhere is to be nowhere. He was speaking about the people of his own era who ran from forum to forum, dinner to dinner, project to project, always moving, always reachable, always exhausted. He said they lived engrossed lives and called them the busiest of the lazy. Because activity is not accomplishment. Motion is not progress. Marcus Aurelius ran the largest empire in the known world. He fought wars on the German frontier. He survived a plague. He lost children. And in the middle of it all, he wrote the Meditations, by candlelight, alone, after long days. He had less time than you. He had more pressure than you. He did not do more. He chose better. The Stoics drew a hard line between two kinds of action. The kind that flows from a clear principle, and the kind that flows from a notification. One builds a life. The other consumes one. Here is the modern application. Open your calendar from last week. Look at every block. Ask one question of each: did this move me toward the person I am trying to become? Be honest. Most blocks will fail the test. Not because they were bad, but because they were chosen by other people. Your inbox chose them. Your boss chose them. The algorithm chose them. Seneca's correction is to take back the pen. He wrote to his friend Lucilius, "Hold every hour in your grasp. Lay hold of today's task, and you will not need to depend so much upon tomorrow's." The shift is small and total. Stop trying to do more. Start doing fewer things on purpose. 1 hour spent deliberately is worth 10 hours spent reacting. You do not need a longer life. You need a deeper one. The hardest line Seneca ever wrote is this: while we are postponing, life speeds by. He wrote it to a man who was telling himself he would start really living once the next promotion came, once the kids were older, once the house was paid off, once things calmed down. Seneca's reply, paraphrased, was merciless. Things will not calm down. The kids will grow up and you will find a new reason. The house will be paid off and you will buy a bigger one. The promotion will arrive and you will postpone living for the next one. The feeling of not enough cannot be fixed by adding. It can only be fixed by deciding. Epictetus put it even more sharply: how long are you going to wait before you demand the best of yourself? Not the most. The best. There is a difference. The most is a quantity: more tasks, more output, more hours. The best is a quality: full attention, real presence, work that matters to you and not just to your manager. Here is the freedom this creates. The moment you accept that no future version of your life will feel like enough, you stop chasing it. You stop deferring your weekends, your meals, your conversations, your rest. You start treating this Tuesday afternoon as if it counts, because Seneca would tell you, plainly, it is the only Tuesday afternoon you will ever have. The Stoic practice is small. Tonight, before you sleep, ask one question: what was today actually for? Not what did I get done? What was it for? If you cannot answer, the day was postponed. If you can, the day was lived. Do this for 30 nights and something quiet happens. You stop measuring your life in tasks completed. You start measuring it in days that meant something. The number of those days, Seneca would say, is the only true length of a life. Everything else is just time on the clock. CTA, 30 seconds. If this hits something true, subscribe. New Stoic wisdom every day: Marcus, Epictetus, Seneca, and the practices that turn ancient philosophy into a life you can actually live, not just admire. Tiro, 30 to 45 seconds. Here is Seneca's challenge for today. 1. Practice. 10 minutes, alone, no phone, no music, no input. Sit with one question and answer it honestly. What am I postponing my life for? Whatever the answer is, a promotion, a permission, a perfect moment that is not coming, name it. Then ask whether it is worth the hours you are trading. The unexamined life, Socrates said, is not worth living. The examined life starts now.